I'd like to show you how to make sawmill gravy that goes with this traditional country breakfast. Hello everyone, this is Life in Bama. I'll be cooking up about a pound of bacon so that I can have the grease from the bacon and the bacon drippings. I'm starting my eggs in another pan because I don't want to use my grease on the eggs. I want to use it in the sawmill gravy. Now, sawmill gravy is also called flour gravy or milk gravy. It's also called a roux. If you make a roux, this is what we're fixing to make. Now I have my bacon fried, and I have to empty and reload the skillet several times to get my pound of bacon fried. And I finished cooking my eggs, and I also finished seasoning my eggs with salt and pepper. You can also use sausage to cook this kind of gravy, but ham does not really produce enough grease. We're after the grease from the bacon, and we also want to keep the grease from the bacon hot. So I have a hot pan here with the bacon grease in it, and I'm going to be using self-rising flour and milk. Now this happens to be whole milk, but you can use 1% or 2% or anything that you want. But it is important to use self-rising flour. And as you can see, as I put the flour into the skillet, the grease starts to absorb into the flour. And like I say, this is hot grease. I keep my grease pretty hot because I want it to brown the flour. And I'm stirring it to get a smooth consistency, get all the lumps out of the flour. And if I need to add flour, because I do want to have several servings of this gravy, then now's the time to do it. It is better to add it now and have more than you need, because once you add the milk, you will not be able to add the flour and be really successful. It'll have lumps in it and stuff. And this is what I want to see. I want to see a good smooth consistency, and I want to see the flour starting to brown. And I'm continuing to keep that grease hot because you don't want it to separate. As you can see, it's starting to plump up. I'm using my Penzeys pepper. I like this pepper. I found it in a local store in Birmingham, and it has a really good flavor to it. So really all you're looking at here is flour and hot grease. Hot bacon grease. Now it's time to make the gravy by adding milk. As you see, I pour the milk in. The milk is a little bit cold, you know, and the grease is very hot with the flour in it. And this kind of magic starts to happen. It's kind of like baking a cake, because that's what you're doing, is adding milk to flour over heat. And the gravy starts to plump up, as you can see. And at this point, you may think, wow, I've got a hot mess going here. But it's okay. It's supposed to look like this. I actually like mine to be a little thick so that the gravy will continue to brown, so that the flour will continue to brown in the hot grease. And I do still keep the eye hot as I'm mixing in the milk, because I want everything to mix well. And I continue to add the milk as I need it to get my smooth consistency. And just work it in. Take your time. Keep your eye a little hot. You can turn it down now a little bit if you want to, but you need to keep the grease hot. And you see it starts to smooth out. So just add your milk as you want to, and you'll start to get a really smooth consistency. And I'm showing you the whole thing because you can see it doesn't really take long to make the gravy, but it's okay for it to clump up and then add milk and then make it thinner. Just make sure, like I'm doing, to make sure it is well mixed, and you'll have that smooth consistency, and for it to not burn on the bottom. If you want to add more pepper or more salt, you can taste it a little bit. It doesn't have eggs in it, so it's safe to taste it at any point you want to. Just watch out for the heat. And like I just did, add milk as you want to thin out the consistency. So this is starting to look pretty good, and I still have a good amount of heat. So now I'm going to cut up a tomato because I want tomatoes on top of my eggs and my sawmill gravy on my biscuits. I get my plate ready and I pour my gravy over. It's just as simple as that. I made 3 plates from this with good helpings of gravy on the biscuits and on the eggs. I put my tomatoes on top and it's ready to serve, ready to eat. As you can see, there's not much cleanup to this because everything is gone. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I would like for you to subscribe to my channel, and when you do subscribe, a bell will appear that you can click on to get notifications when I add new videos. I would appreciate it if you would do that, and also feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching Life in Bama. We will see you next time.